Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Roxamore Sports live here at the Chambersburg High School in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, Peach Country. Oh, we are starting our first game off here for the Hoops for Harmony tournament. Also the Stand Against Racism movement as well here in Chambersburg as we play a harmonious game of basketball where people of all walks of life and different high schools come together to play this game of healthy competition. There'll be laughs, and there will be probably some crying because I probably will be mispronouncing some names here and there. But I'll adjust as time goes on. Right now we are about let me backtrack. We are about 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the game. Right now, Woodland Hills is in the lead, 6-3. It is Woodland Hills, and once again, welcome back, Woodland Hills. Good to see you. I was covering last night's game with the same girls varsity basketball over at their alma mater back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But today it's Woodland Hills girls varsity basketball going against the Berlin Brothers Valley Mountaineers. And for simplicity, I'll just call them Berlin. Berlin scores. And I was looking at the wrong roster here. Okay, so currently, actually, it's the other way around. Right now, the Berlin brothers, or in this case, the Berlin sisters, are in the lead here. It is 8-3 with Woodland Hills behind, 3 points to their name, and Berlin brothers with 8. The foul goes on Woodland Hills. Berlin has the offense here. Let me just give you a rundown of who's on the roster today. Who's the starting lineup, that is. So we have number 4, Jalen Wilson. Number 4, Jalen Wilson. Number 3, Kayla Walter. Number 1, Hope Hopkins. Number 24, Carmen Vasquez. And number 10, Sarah Guest. For Berlin, it is Jennifer Countryman. At number 13. And number 10, Grace Scheller. Number 30, Peyton Grenecki. Let me just take a look at the other roster here. I see a little bit of some crazy penmanship. Okay, that is right. Grenke. Okay. The Grenke family and friends, please correct me there in the comment section if I have that incorrect. As I said, some names will be mispronounced. And, of course, number 24, Reagan Lauer, and number 22, number 5, Ashley Brandt. And we want to welcome you all here to the Roxamore Sports broadcast. I'm Maximilian Kiever, and I will be your commentator for this evening as we kick off the first game here for the Hoops for Harmony tournament, starting from today, this afternoon, all the way till Sunday. To get updated schedules, be sure to check out the Chambersburg High School Twitter page. You'll be able to find it on their Twitter page under the Hoops for Harmony tag. Berlin, here in the offense. The passing is contested here by Woodland Hills defense. She goes in for the three-pointer and lands it. That is number 24. Reagan Lauer landed that three-pointer in there quite beautifully. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you guys. I don't know what your temperature is back at your house or what have you, but up here it is hot right now. At least I am anyways. Whew. So if I sound a little bit winded, you know exactly what the cause is. But it is a great day out here, a great atmosphere. Of course, we got a bunch of games coming up ahead, so if this isn't your high school, if this is not the high school that you were looking for, just, again, check out the Chambersburg Twitter page for Hoops for Harmony, and surely you'll find your high school playing against whomever and at a certain time. Of course, we have today, tomorrow, and Sunday. We're doing coverage here on the Roxamore Sports broadcast at Chambersburg High School. Now that gap is looking quite ugly there for Woodland Hills, but the game is young. 3 under 13. Berlin sisters, in this case, are doing a phenomenal job on the offense and defense. Kayla Walters passes it to Wilson. Wilson goes in for the three-pointer, and just off the rim there. Berlin regains the ball, goes back in for the offense, crosses the half-court line, and a simple layup, but it was missed. Wilson takes back the ball and makes it past the half-court line. She's in the three-pointer line, passes it to Kayla Walter outside the three-pointer line. Kayla Walter misses the three-pointer, and Berlin takes back the ball. Berlin here on the offense. A deep pass and a great connection at that. Berlin just outside the three-pointer line. It's number 24, Reagan Lauer, passing it over to number 5, Ashley Brandt. Home is Woodland Hills, so we're 3 under 13. And a attempted hook shot there went nowhere. Kayla Walters has the ball outside the three-pointer line, passes over to Wilson. Sierra Guest, actually not Sierra Guest, Carmen Vasquez. Got their hairstyles mixed up with each other. That is Carmen Vasquez. Goes in, cuts it in, and lays that ball in the net. Gaining Woodland Hills a 2-point traction here, just under 13. They still got a way to go. It is now an 8-point game. Ashley Brandt passes over to Scheller. And Scheller and Wilson. Scheller breaks past Wilson and almost had that ball in there. Berlin regains it for the rebound and misses the rebound. And foul is called on Berlin. We have number 12 from Woodland Hills now in the court. That is Atia Walker. Yeah, Berlin Brothers, Valley Mountaineers. Just off the board there. Berlin regains the ball. He's viciously cutting in here. Goes in for the three-pointer and off the rim there. Vasquez secures the ball. Makes a deep pass over to Kayla Walter, and Kayla Walter, a little bit of a collision, loses the ball. Grace Scheller takes back the ball, and woo! It's in the net. 15-5. It's getting pretty heated right now for Woodland Hills. A rough start for them, but the game is young. We got 30 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. So don't stop tuning out yet, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It's Woodland Hills with the throw-in. Atia Walker. And we got another substitution in here for number 30. Gonna take a look at the roster here. Peyton Grenecki. And the substitution is number 11, Mercy Scheller. Oh, we have 2 Schellers on the court here today. A legacy in the making. Or a legacy being carried on here by the Scheller sisters, cousins. Possibly just a coincidence here. Right now we have Grace Scheller. Lands that 2-pointer in there. 17-7. That is it for the first quarter. We're going to head into the second quarter. And my, oh my, Woodland Hills is having a rough time right now. A rusty start, but they did come a long way, all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, over to here to Chambersburg. I was looking at the athlete, I almost said Trojans, but Trojanburg, but that's not correct. Chambersburg. I'm not exactly sure what the distance is between Pittsburgh and Chambersburg, but you guys can look it up on the internet. So I think it's about roughly a 2-hour drive. I wasn't paying attention. I was sleeping the whole way through, all the way up here, so I'm not sure. But perhaps they have a little bit of jet lag at the moment. The Berlin brothers, they are absolutely doing a crushing job here on Woodland Hills. 17-7. The game is young. Woodland Hills can turn the game around. And of course, just like that, the Berlin brothers can also take that little moment of hope for Woodland Hills away and take the game back in their favor. But we shall see. Or perhaps the Berlin brothers will just be maintaining that gap the whole way through, and some hearts will be broken tonight for Woodland Hills, but we shall see. Or maybe later in the game, it'll be neck and neck. But stay tuned here on the Roxamore Sports broadcast. And again, if this is not your high school, if Woodland Hills and the Berlin brothers are not your high school, be sure to check out the Chambersburg High School Twitter page for the Hoops for Harmony. They got the schedule on there, and they will let you know what high school's playing against, what high school, and at what time. Berlin brothers here on the offense, number 24. That is Reagan Lauer with the ball. Passes it over to Scheller. Grace Scheller. Grayson Scheller, rather. Put some respect on the name. Over to Leah Miller, and beautifully done there as they land that in there. Reagan, a three-pointer, 20-7. Carmen Vasquez passes it over to Walker. Walker goes in for the three-pointer, and off the rim there. Hope Hopkins, off the rim yet again. Berlin brothers takes back the ball. And goes in for the three-point shot and lands it in there. That is number 10, Grayson Scheller. 23-7. Woo-wee. Coleman Vasquez passes over to Walker. Walker back to Vasquez. Outside the three-point line. And hands it over to Sarah Guest in a collision between Sarah Guest and Scheller. Looks like they call the foul on Woodland Hills. Actually, stand corrected. They call the foul on Berlin. I was going to say, that was a bad call. Okay. Glad to see that's not the case. All right. So the foul is on Berlin, and Sarah Guest has the free throw. Off the rim there. She has a chance here to land at least 1 point. Yeah, Sierra Guest, she is one that is keen for getting these balls in the nets, but unfortunately not in that case. It's a little bit of growing pain perhaps here for Woodland Hills. 7/23 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. I wouldn't be too devastated yet if I was a Woodland Hills fan. Foul is called there. And Lauer, or Scheller rather. Coleman Vasquez with the three-pointer but misses it. Berlin brothers takes back the ball here. Leah Miller. And this is just about the right type of volume that I like, ladies and gentlemen. A not too loud gym, but of course we were at the Chambersburg alma mater. And from last year, from when we were doing this tournament here for the Hoops for Harmony back in 2022, they came in with their best and loudest fans, and man, oh man, was that a shouting match between me and the microphone and the crowd. So right now, volume is easy. My voice is not stressed. Trying to yell over the banter. But if you're here for the Chambersburg game, it's not at the moment, but it will get loud when that game comes. Berlin scores another 2 points, 23-7. Lands out one in there, 26-7. And Walker almost had it in there. Hope Hopkins restores the hope. Brings Woodland Hills up by 2, 9 under 26. Pass. And off the board there. Walker almost had the ball, but the ball is in the hands of Berlin. A foul is called there on Woodland Hills. Number 25 with the ball. That is, gotta scan the roster here, L.C. Bonner. L.C. Bonner makes that first shot in there, 27-29, and second shot looks good. It's in the net, 28-9. Sierra Guest. Things were looking so good there, 11 under 28. Sierra Guest with those 2 points. And now she has the free throw. Woodland Hills gaining some traction here. As mentioned, Sierra Guest is one that's usually good with the shots here. And just like that, she lands that point into the net. 12 under 28. Got a timeout here. And so far, the game is, it's a rough stop for Woodland Hills. And a great day, or great start rather, for Berlin Brothers Valley Mountaineers. Or Mountaineers, rather. My accent's kicking in there. Again, we are with the first game for the Hoops for Harmony tournament, lasting from today all the way till Sunday. So if this is not your high school that you were looking for, again, check out the Chambersburg High School Twitter page and look for Hoops for Harmony. Surely you'll find the schedule there with the appropriate high school playing against whomever right on that Twitter page. And for coverage, you can check us out here on Roxamore Sports. We are live here in Chambersburg on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and I am missing a platform on there, but you can check us out on the Roxamore Sports Network. That is roxamoresports.com. We also have schedules for the games to come, not just for Chambersburg, but for mostly Woodland Hills, and we have, of course, Carrick that we're covering. So we got quite a few games ahead of us. The basketball season is young, but the attention here is the Hoops for Harmony stand against racism as we approach Martin Luther King's birthday. And may we never forget the message of harmony, not just by MLK, but by others that were in that movement, which wasn't that far away. Back in time. And may we never repeat history. May we only get better as time goes on. We're not quite where we want to be socially yet, but I tell you guys, time is changing. Well done there by Wilson. My grandmother, she was a African-American, is an African-American. She's 93 years old now, but it wasn't that long ago when she was denied service from certain restaurants, denied denied a chance to go ice skating and denied access to a public swimming pool. It wasn't that long ago. So times have changed. It's not perfect, but it's events like this, healthy competition. It's games like this that bring us all together as fans. Public schools are instrumental in bringing people of all walks of life together under one roof and getting people acclimated to differences in the world, breaking down some biases. And traveling really does give you that perception of a bigger world than your original perception. So we want to also recognize officials, as this is the not seniors, but the Officials Appreciation Week, lasting from today all the way till Sunday. So this is a statewide Officials Appreciation Week, by the way, all the way to Philadelphia and all the way to Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And the game is looking better there for Woodland Hills, 17 under 28. So Woodland Hills is gaining some traction here. A lot of shine here on these talented athletes, just as much as we want to appreciate our officials, our coaches. We want to definitely put some recognition and respect on these athletes here, as they came a long way. They're competing against each other and ultimately competing against themselves. As each game won and each game lost, it's a new character trait, and hopefully one for the better. Wilson takes back the ball, passes it over to Walter, and Walter lands it in there. 19 under 28 with a simple layup. Berlin trying to maintain this gap here on the offense. It's looking a little bit rough here for Berlin, but they surely got it, and they absolutely do. Number 25 from Berlin, that is Bonner. Now Berlin has broken 30, so it's 30 over 19. All right, so we got 3 more games today. After this, the next game is going to be the boys of Berlin Brothers Valley going against Newtown. And that game begins at 5:30. Carmen Vasquez lands that 2-pointer in there, 21 under 30. So Woodland Hills has now broken 20. Carmen Vasquez landed that 2-pointer in there. But now the Berlin Brothers back at the free throw line. That is Scheller, Grayson Scheller at the free throw line. And while we're at it, she lands it in there beautifully. So the Newtown versus the Berlin Brothers Valley boys varsity basketball will start at 5:30. Then at 7 o'clock, if that's still not your high school, Rock Creek Christian Academy will be playing against First Love Christian Academy for the boys varsity basketball. Then, of course, it's going to get loud. It's going to get crazy. The last game of the evening will be starting at 8:30. Chambersburg going against Central Dolphin. Dolphin boys. So the Berlin Brothers, 32 over 21 here in the second quarter. Walter getting a good eye on the court here, and Wilson with the 3-pointer, and just over the board, off the rim, and over the end line. Berlin Brothers with the throw-in. Berlin contested here. That ball is at a block, and ref blows the whistle and gives it over to Woodland Hills. Walker, or not Walker, but Wilson with the throw-in. Passes over to Walter Vasquez. Vasquez with the three-pointer. Oh, never mind. It looked like she was at the before the three-pointer line, but they gave her a 2-point. Still a good distance. Not always an easy throw to make, especially not under pressure. With practice, yeah, sure, three-pointers all day long, but under pressure, in competition, different story. Berlin brothers on the offense. Grayson, well done in the net. 34-23. Walter. Passes it over to Wilson. Wilson goes in for the three-pointer. Lands in Sarah Guess's face, but Woodland Hills still has the ball. Walter going in for the kill, and with the layup, lands it in there. 25-34. Berlin brothers down on the ground. And ball over to Berlin. Number 25 is back in here for number 24. That is, let me just take a look at the roster here. Yeah, Barna is in for Reagan Lauer. And for those of you watching for Berlin, be sure to stay tuned with us for a 5:30 game, because if you didn't get enough of the girls, well, I have the boys coming. So it'll be the boys varsity basketball playing at 5:30 for Berlin. And a good throw here off the rim. Walker back to Wilson. Wilson passes it over to Sierra Guest, and that ball is still in the court. And Scheller passes it over to Leia. And that is it for the first half of this tournament, or match, rather, between Berlin and Woodland Hills. An intense game there between these two schools. Two very talented pools of athletes here. Woodland Hills had a successful streak up until yesterday. They had a 3-game win here in the first year. The last game they won was against Kiski, and they lost, unfortunately for them, yesterday. They lost yesterday against Indiana High School. But, once again, the season is young, and a loss is a loss. However, it's what you take away from that loss that leads to a win. And, of course, it's not the end. There's more games for Woodland Hills and Berlin coming up this week. So let me just take a look at the roster here. Not the roster, but the schedule, rather. So today, just a recap on today's schedule. We have, at the moment, we have Woodland Hills playing against the Berlin Brothers. Then at 5:30, we'll have Newtown playing against the Berlin Brothers boys varsity basketball. Then we have Rock Creek Christian Academy playing against First Love Christian Academy boys varsity basketball as well. And then it will get loud and crazy in here as Chambersburg will be playing here at their alma mater. And like I said, they come in loud and booming with the most outrageous fans and mascots. So it's going to get loud here at 8:30 with Chambersburg playing against Central Dolphin. And I think I skipped the time for the Rock Creek Christian Academy, First Love Christian Academy boys varsity basketball. That starts at 7 p.m. Also today, at the auxiliary gym, currently, at the moment, it's Chambersburg playing against Central Dolphin boys varsity basketball. Then we have Chambersburg also playing against Central Dolphin junior varsity boys. Tomorrow, Saturday, January 14th, we have, starting at 10 in the morning, Chambersburg playing against James, Bugaken. That's not even pronounced at school. I'll look at the proper pronunciation soon. We have, Chambersburg playing against James Bugaken at 10 a.m. in the morning. Girls varsity basketball. Then we have Columbia playing against Scotland School boys at 11:30 in the morning. Then we have Rock Creek Christian Academy playing against Lona Prep boys varsity at 1 p.m. Then Central Dolphin playing against Lower Dolphin boys. Ooh. So, 2 Dolphins. Alright, so we have Central Dolphin and Lower Dolphin playing against each other at 2:30 p.m. Then Amani Christian Academy playing against Roseville, D.C. boys at 4 p.m. Then we have Shippensburg playing against Lansdowne at 5:30 p.m. Then St. Francis Academy playing against St. Benedict boys varsity at 7 p.m. Then Chambersburg playing against Chester boys at 8:30 p.m. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow, but it doesn't stop there. Oh no. Because at that same day, in the different gym, the auxiliary gym, will be Berlin Brothers Valley playing against Columbia Girls at 10:30 in the morning. Central Dolphin playing against St. Francis Girls at 12 p.m. Then we have Berlin Brothers playing against Eastern York Boys at 1:30 p.m. Then Scotland School playing against St. Vincent Palodi Boys at 3 p.m. Then North Allegheny playing against Imhotep at 4:30 p.m. Then Newtown goes at it again versus Aliquippa at boys varsity basketball at 6 p.m. Then Dallastown playing against Woodland Hills girls varsity basketball, last game at 7:30 p.m. And then the very last day, we got Sunday, January 15th, 2023. That is the year, in case you guys forgot, we're not in 2022 anymore. First game of that day will be at 10 a.m., North Allegheny playing against St. Francis girls varsity basketball. Then we got Harrisburg playing against Aliquippa boys varsity basketball at 11:30 p.m. Then we got Chester playing against Amani Christian Academy at 1 p.m. Then St. Benedict playing against First Love boys at 2:30 p.m. Then Iona Prep playing against Goretti at 4 p.m. That will be the boys varsity basketball. Roosevelt playing against Palodi at 5:30 p.m. Then Severn playing against Columbia boys at 7 p.m. And York William Penn playing against Central Dolphin East boys at 8:30 p.m. Then, in the auxiliary gym that same day, we have, starting at 2 p.m., Harrisburg playing against Columbia girls varsity basketball. Forest Hills playing against Imhotep girls at 3:30 p.m. Kiski playing against Scotland boys at 5 p.m. And York William Penn playing against York Suburban girls at 6:30 p.m. Here for the Hoops for Hanami tournament in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Peach Country, baby. So we are approaching our second half of the game. Right now, things are looking great for the Berlin brothers, or in this case, the Berlin sisters. We'll just column, as is the girls' varsity basketball. It's looking great for them as they have 34 over 25 over Woodland Hills. But again, Woodland Hills had a winning streak, 3 all the way up until yesterday. So don't rest on Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills has that chance to climb back up there, and they will likely impress. So looking forward to seeing what Woodland Hills has cooking up here. The prospects for them are certainly good. The record speaks for itself. And very talented athletes that we have the privilege of covering for the past few years. In this case, for these athletes that I'm familiar with, that I've been covering myself, I've been covering them since 2022, last January. So very interesting sight to see, seeing them improve their plays. Gain a few successes here and there, some misses there, but most of all, doing a phenomenal job, growing as an athlete and as an individual as well. They're very easygoing people once you talk to them. If you ever have the privilege to talk to any of these athletes, they have a lot of ambition, and we wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors. Just about anything can happen here in the second half of the game. We shall see if Woodland Hills manages to tie the game up and keeps the game close, or if Woodland Hills takes a lead here and makes a gap for themselves, or if Berlin secures that gap. Well, as I mentioned, the prospects for Berlin right now are looking great. About 2 minutes away from the game resuming. But again, for you Berlin fans out there, the girls' game is almost over, but that's not all. We got the boys' game starting at 5:30 p.m., and that's going against Newtown. So Newtown, if you're here a little bit too early, be sure to tune in at 5:30 p.m. And we do currently have another game going on at the moment in the auxiliary gym, and that is Chambersburg playing against Central Dauphin. And that is a boys varsity basketball match happening right now. About a minute away from the game resuming. The connections, I have to say, overall from Woodland Hills is not quite there, but when it comes to them being in the three-pointer line, rather, it's not quite how they have it practiced out, but they have a good reading on each other when it comes to their performance on the court. The defense is definitely there, as they've been able to keep Berlin out quite a few times, but Berlin is not shy about making those three-pointers, and they land a lot of those three-pointers in there. Particularly number 10, Grayson Scheller from Berlin, is really instrumental tonight for the Berlin brothers, as they have had a number of points here accumulated by her this evening. I'm a little bit early with the time this afternoon, but we will be going into the evening here tonight. Today, rather. Again, I'm ahead of myself. But we will be going into the evening here all the way till 8:30 p.m. with today's games. The first games of the weekend here for the Hoops for Hanami tournament, stand against racism. The game is just about back in action. 8 minutes in the clock for each quarter. You know how it goes. And the game is back in action here. Maximilian Kiefer alongside no one. I'm a solo man here tonight. At least for now. It is an honor to cover these games. And Wilson with the three-point attempt, but off the rim there. Wilson with the throw-in. And ball goes over to Berlin. Berlin on the offense here, just outside the three-point line. Scheller. Oh, so close. Into the hands of Hope Hopkins. And the ball goes to Berlin. Reagan passes it over to Scheller. A little bit of a kerfuffle there between Wilson and Scheller. Walter passes it over to Hope Hopkins, over to Wilson, and Wilson passes it back to Walter. Off the rim there. Ball goes to Woodland Hills. Pass over to Vasquez. Vasquez lands it in there. 27 under 34. Woodland Hills building back up that traction. Can they maintain the momentum, or will Berlin maintain the gap? Ball goes over to Woodland Hills. Walter with the ball here on the offense. Passes it over to Wilson. Back to Walter. Outside the three-point line. Over to Sierra Guess. Wilson to Vasquez. And off the rim there. Berlin. Scheller takes back the ball. Passes it, but a mere miss. And off the rim there. Hope Hopkins. Refs trying to figure out what to make of that one. Hope Hopkins had a lot of defense there. Trying to keep that ball in hand. So the foul is on Hope Hopkins, unfortunately for Woodland Hills. So the ball goes over to Berlin. Scheller goes in and misses the shot. Vasquez takes back the ball, passes it over to Walter. And Walter in the three-point line, passes over to Vasquez. Vasquez goes in for the kill and gets the kill. 29 under 34. Things are looking promising for Woodland Hills now. Berlin brothers here on the offense. It's looking good, and it is indeed. Grayson Scheller lands the ball in there for the two-pointer, 36 over 29. Grayson Scheller had a bit of a run-in with Walter there. But the ball goes over to Woodland Hills. Wilson over to Walter. Walter on the offense here. The defense is looking good for Berlin, as they were able to keep Walter and Vasquez out for the time being. At least a good pass there. And over to Wilson for the three-pointer, but she misses the three-point shot. Hope Hopkins with the rebound, and it is in. Woodland Hills has now broken into the 30s. 31 under 36. Scheller. Scheller with the passes it over to Brandt. And over to Reagan. Sierras over to Wilson. Wilson over to Vasquez. Vasquez over to Walter. And a missed three-point shot there. Ball goes over to Berlin. Berlin with the offense here. Scheller at it yet again. A absolute killer here tonight. I keep saying tonight, but this afternoon for Berlin, as she has been a major threat here for Woodland Hills. Wilson over to Vasquez. And Vasquez lands it in there. And Berlin with the offense here. It was looking promising for Berlin in that lineup, but ball went over the end line, and you know the rules. Berlin with the throw-in.
That's what I'm saying. She should be having a power back.
And Berlin has a chance at redemption here, but missed it. So, Hope Hopkins has 6 points to her name thus far. Then we have Kayla Walter with 9 points to her name. Then we have Jalen Wilson with 4 points. And then number 24. Actually, that's 3 points for Jalen Wilson. And then we have number 24, Carmen Vasquez, with 12 points. So Vasquez has been a secret weapon of sorts for Woodland Hills, as she's been able to amass 12 points to her name thus far in the third quarter. For Berlin, we have number 11, we have number 11, Mercy Scheller, with 8 points to her name. Then number 13, with 4 points. And, well, I'll give you the correct points soon. It looks like they changed up the board there that I was reading from. And now I'm not exactly too sure how many points she amassed. But I'll let you know when they hit it back. The ball is over to Berlin. Wilson. And gets it in there, into the net. Wilson with the 2 point. And just 1 point under Berlin. And Berlin loses the ball there. A little bit of a mishandling. It will cost them as the ball goes to Woodland Hills. Walter on the offense. Within the 3-point line. Over to Vasquez. Vasquez goes in and lays it in there. just like that, Woodland Hills has taken the lead by a point here in the third quarter. And just like that, Berlin took away that lead by 1 point. Walter, and she does it with another 2 points added to Woodland Hills' name, 39-38. Scheller coming in here, goes in, and ooh, so close off the rim there. They have a chance at a rebound, though. Scheller maintaining herself quite well, but loses the ball to the defense with a missed shot. Walter here in the offense. Scheller on the offense here. Just outside the three-point line. Walter giving her a hard time. Defense doing exactly what we expect them to do. And well done there by Berlin. That's number 24, Reagan Lauer, who just got that 2-point in there. And now she's up here on the free throw line. Reagan gets the ball in there. And Reagan has gotten Berlin up to 41. Woodland Hills at it. We have number 25, Shania Herring, here on the court now for Woodland Hills. And she is back to the chairs. Berlin here on the offense. The passing is broken there by Woodland Hills defense, but it will cost Woodland Hills as Berlin now has the throw-in. And quite a miss there, all air. And a drop-by next to the hoop. Woodland Hills with the ball as a consequence. Walter on the offense. A deep pass over to Hope Hopkins. It was looking so promising there, but there was a lot of power to that pass, and it just went right out of her hands. That's number 11, Mercy Scheller. Passing it over to number 24, Reagan Lauer. Lauer contested here by Hope Hopkins. Lauer makes a wise pass over to Scheller. And the ball goes to Berlin. Jennifer Countryman here at the free throw line. And off the rim there, Countryman has another given shot here. We are at 22 seconds on the clock here for the third quarter. And well done there by Countrymen. 42-39. The game is getting close now. Carmen Vasquez with the ball. Makes the pass over to Wilson. Wilson past the half-court line. Trying to figure where to make this pass at. A wise decision to make a pass to Walter. Walter just outside the three-point line. With good maneuvering, makes it in, passes it over to Hope Hopkins. Defense was on it and knocked it out of Hope Hopkins' hands. but a foul is not called there. And the benefit goes to Woodland Hills. Wilson makes the pass over to Walter. And Wilson with the throw-in, makes the pass over to Walter. Walter goes in for the three-pointer and lands it in there. 42-42. It is now a tied game. A close one at that, ladies and gentlemen. When it was looking like all hope was lost for Woodland Hills, they delivered. As I mentioned, their winning streak in the past few games, before yesterday, of course, really does show a shine. Got a little tongue-tied there. Shows a sign that they will come with power later in the game. Berlin brothers, though, they're not letting down. They had the momentum. They had the lead, and surely they're seeking to get back that lead. So Berlin brothers, they have a phenomenal offense, namely the Scheller family. The Scheller family has been instrumental this afternoon for Berlin brothers, as they have been able to get quite a few shots in there. Reagan as well, as she has been able to land some three-point shots in some really tough situations there when the offense and defense was looking quite grim for Berlin. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the last quarter of the afternoon. But Berlin fans, don't go anywhere. We have the next game after this for the Berlin boys, starting at 5:30, going against Newtown here at Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And the game is back in action here. Berlin in action. And anybody else here for Woodland Hills? The boys aren't playing today. So this is the last game for today for Woodland Hills. Coleman Vasquez gives Woodland Hills the lead here. 44-42. Good pass in here by Berlin. And just outside the three-point line, off the rim there and over the end line. Now this game could go just about in any direction right now. 44-42. Woodland Hills was behind by quite a bit earlier in the first half of the game, but they managed to turn the game around. Berlin brothers, we've seen what they're capable of. They have that kind of power to take that lead back and lead by a significant margin. But we shall see. It seems like the motivation is kicking in here for Woodland Hills, as they now held a 2-point lead. Up Hopkins regains that ball, passes over to Walter. Walter cuts in the three-point line and gets that shot just off the rim, but doesn't land it in. Grayson Scheller giving some good direction to her team here. Make that pass. Ball is back to Scheller. And an attempted shot there by number 30. That was Peyton that made that attempted three-point shot. Unfortunately for Berlin, it was just off the rim there. But neither team is in a comfortable position right now as we approach the end of this last quarter. And again, just in case you guys didn't hear me the first few times I said it, the Berlin boys will be playing. That is the Berlin Brothers Valley Mountaineers playing at 5:30 p.m. against Newtown for the boys varsity basketball. And Berlin Brothers is given a free throw penalty shot here by Grayson Scheller. Oh, I stand corrected. Those points didn't count. Oh, no, they did. Okay. So the game is now tied by Grayson Scheller, 44-44. Carmen Vasquez makes that three-point shot attempt, but misses. Just off the rim there. Grayson Scheller back at it yet again on the offense here. So now the game is tied, 44-44. And this is the first game for the Hoops for Harmony tournament here in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Just as last year, our message is stand against racism and just attempt to be a better human being in life. It's not hard, guys, but there's some things that just need to change. You know, it's may not always be a racial bias or something like that, but sometimes it's a personal qualm that you need to fix. We all need to fix things in ourselves, but ideally we should strive to be the best humans we can be and strive for harmony. Strive for a better world, a more unified world, less division. Here, as we play this game, basketball that started back in Massachusetts in the 1890s. This game has been recognized as an international sport in the Olympics and has brought together people of all walks of life and nationalities, races, all together in healthy competition and hopefully healthy fandom. It's not always the case that fans get along with the opposite side, but occasionally there's a little bit of a trouble between the fan base, but for the most part, most people know that it's just a game and take it easy. But definitely events like this bring us all together. So as we approach Martin Luther King's birthday, we want to remember his message, as well as all those that walked in the civil rights movement and the movements before that, and any attempts to recognize humans as humans. Right now, Woodland Hills on the offense here, but they lose the ball to Berlin. Berlin going in here and lose that pass there to Woodland Hills. Walter makes the pass over to Wilson. Wilson passes it over to Vasquez. And Vasquez cuts in the three-point line. Attempted to make a short pass there to Hope Hopkins, but That pass was not as planned. Ball is in Berlin's possession. Scheller has a bit of a trouble there from Woodland Hills as Vasquez and Walter attempted to take that ball. But the foul is on the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Which gives Berlin the free throw, which will potentially break this tie here, at least for the time being. And that it does. Berlin has taken back the lead by 1 point. Surely they can get a second one in here. Grayson Scheller, and in the net it goes. 2 points above Woodland Hills now. Berlin back in the lead. Walter rushes it in here and goes in for the shot, and off the rim there. Hope Hopkins attempted to take that ball, but down she went. Grayson Scheller passed that ball over to Bona, and the foul goes on Woodland Hills. Bona at the free throw line. Bona makes the shot, and in it goes. 3 points over Woodland Hills. And one more, and in it goes. 4 points above Woodland Hills. 3 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock. Bona is. A foul is given to the Wolverines yet again. And number 13, Jennifer Countryman, lands that shot in there. Now bringing them 5 points above Woodland Hills. Countryman makes the shot and lands it. Berlin now breaks 50. Walter makes it past the half-court line and makes the pass over to Wilson. Over to Walker. Back to Wilson. Back to Walter. And to Sierra Guest. And Walter goes in for the three-point shot, but misses it just off the rim there. Ball over to Berlin. And Scheller makes it past Wilson. Makes the pass over to Scheller. Mossy Scheller. Or Mercy, rather. Makes the pass over to Brandt. And Hope Hopkins takes back the ball. Passes it over to Walter. Walter to Wilson and misses the shot. And ref blows the whistle on that one, obviously. And it looks like we have a player down. A little bit of a collision there. We got 2 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. 50 over 44. Berlin has taken back the lead and is now leading by a 6-point gap. That is number 25. Elsie Bonner. Hopefully she makes a quick recovery. In the game of basketball, you make some collisions here and there, but she is back up on her feet. Just what we love to see here. She gave it her all. She gave it her all in all, and she has been a phenomenal player here for Berlin, and certainly will go home as quite a proud player for Berlin Brothers Valley Mountaineers. Berlin misses the shot there. Walker. What is the deal with that ball? Okay. Walter picks up the ball, passes it over to Walker. Over to Shaylin. Naya. Hope Hopkins here on the free throw line. Hope Hopkins here at the free throw line. And off the rim there, and into the hands of Grayson Scheller. Grayson Scheller makes it past the three-point line. Hope Hopkins pets away the danger. And ball goes to Berlin. Got a little bit of a timeout here. 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. Berlin, 50-44. So it is a close game, and for a moment there, it looked like Woodland Hills was going to be in one of the situations where they're behind by quite a gap. But they managed to catch up with Berlin, tie the game, take the lead a few times, and now they're not too far off. The clock is only 2 minutes and 17 seconds. The odds are currently on either side. But right now, things are looking good for Berlin as they hold that 6-point lead. If Berlin is to make any more shots here, they can secure themselves in a more comfortable position. And of course, we have the Berlin boys varsity basketball beginning at 5:30 p.m. against Newtown. Walter breaks it in and gets that 2-point in there. 46-50. With the layup, Kayla Walter got that ball in there, and now just 4 points away from a tied game. Absolutely love what I'm seeing here. Love a close game. Definitely makes things more interesting. Although if you're fan rather than a commentator, you would absolutely love to see a beatdown and a massive gap in the scoreboard. 30-0, preferably, right? But in this case, it is a close game. And that is absolutely what I love to see as a commentator, as well as healthy competition. Remember, the message is stand against racism. Let harmony be your pursuit. And we strive for a better world. As this is the Hoops for Harmony tournament. Starting from today all the way till Sunday. Be sure to check out the Chambersburg Twitter page at Chambersburg High School Twitter page to get a beautifully done job there by Kayla Walter. But Chambersburg Twitter page, as I finish off the start, will have the schedules. So check it out. And we have another athlete down here. Just like number 25, we have number 24. But she seems like she's all right. Just a little bit of a collision there, but still best to play it safe. That is Reagan Lauer, another instrumental player here for Berlin. And she was able to land some great three-point shots there for Berlin under intense pressure from Woodland Hills. She's one of the key players you don't want to have down. Of course, you don't want to have any players down, obviously, but there's some players that are really somebody you can look up to, and definitely Reagan is one of them. The game is 48-50, as we have 1 minute and 53 seconds on the clock here in the last quarter of this game, which is the interesting my apologies, I lost my train of thought there. She's all right, though. She's walking, and she's sitting down. She seems to be recovering quite well, just as number 25. It's best to play it safe, though, and not push it. And, of course, over back in Pittsburgh, we have the boys for Woodland Hills playing quite a few competitions as well. And as you know, the season is young, so for you guys back in Pittsburgh watching for Woodland Hills, be sure to check out the Roxamore Sports Network at roxamoresports.com to get a good glance at that schedule to see when Woodland Hills is playing the next basketball game, be it boys or girls, this month. And we have coverage of 2 games right now. One here in this gym and one in the auxiliary gym here in Chambersburg. So if you happen to tune in this channel and these aren't your schools at the moment, be sure to check out the Twitter page at Chambersburg High School, and they will have that schedule for your correct high school if you're here a little bit too early. As mentioned, the next game that is coming up will be here in this gym, be the Berlin Brothers boys varsity basketball going against Newtown. In the other gym, around the same time at 6 o'clock, will be Chambersburg Junior Varsity, well, actually Chambersburg Junior Varsity playing against Central Dolphin Junior Varsity. The foul goes on Woodland Hills, which brings Grayson Scheller at the free throw line. A good shot there, as expected. And bringing them up 51-48. Surely she can land the second one, and she does. 52-48, a 4-point lead here over Woodland Hills. Walter has the ball and makes a pass over to Hope Hopkins, but that reception was not as planned. As Berlin takes back the ball. In a more dire situation, Berlin is back at the free throw line. It is number 5, Ashley Brandt. And she lands it in there, 53-48. Goes in for seconds, and she delivers 54-48. Wilson over to Walter. Walter, good maneuvering, passes it back to Wilson, and Wilson misses the three-point. They're taking a break here. 36 seconds on the clock. Woodland Hills just behind by 4 points. I believe that was Kayla Walter that got that last point in there. So Woodland Hills has a slim chance here to tie the game, or take the lead here. But it is a slim one. Berlin landing this shot could be crucial and could be a game changer. And now it's looking more optimal for Berlin. Number 30. Peyton Grenke lands it in there. 55-50 with 22 seconds on the clock. And it looks like this might be a decisive victory for Berlin Brothers. Provided no fouls or anything like that happen. Wilson, and off the rim there, 10 seconds to go. But the game is not over till it is over. Always got to play like you're leading by 1 point, whether you're losing by 20. Walter shoots it in for the 3-point, but misses it. 1 second to go, and that is it. Woodland Hills going against Berlin Brothers, and Berlin Brothers came out victorious by 6 points. It was a close game there in the second half, and things were looking quite optimistic for Woodland Hills for just the time being, but then Berlin Brothers has managed to take back that lead, and they have a moment of triumph. But that is not all, because we got the Berlin Brothers boys varsity basketball playing at 5:30 against Newtown, so stick around for that, for those of you watching for the Berlin Brothers, here on the Roxamore Sports Network.